Tonight's game, the Rangers come in with a Patrick Division leading record of 32 wins, 23 losses, 8 ties, 72 points. They're in front of Pittsburgh by 1 point. Now, as far as the Kings are concerned, as we look at the number 99, Wayne Gretzky, they have not won in their last 3 games, and Dave Taylor has their last 2 goals, Jerry. This man has been held scoreless, and they've only scored 4 goals in their last 3 outings. So certainly a team noted for their offense is suffering a little bit at this time.
Well, first of all, we just saw Wayne Gretzky, Rick, and he's gone 2 games without a point. 7 times in his career, he has gone 3 games without a point, but never farther than that. You know, they played their best defensive game at the Meadowlands the other night and didn't get any. They got 1 point for it, not a victory. Unfortunately for the Kings, they can't put both together. A good, solid defensive game with a lot of goals.
Well, the Kings are trying to assemble what they hope is a club that will challenge seriously for the Stanley Cup. Certainly a very important piece of that puzzle as the acquisition of Kelly Hrudey from the Islanders last week. We won't see him tonight, but how do you see that acquisition?
Rick, you know that I feel that Kelly Hrudey is the top 3 goaltenders in the game, and this was a very wise move by the LA Kings. We won't see him tonight. We'll see Healy, who's won a lot of games and deserves to play some games, but Kelly Hrudey is their goaltender down the stretch. So
it will be Glenn Healy in goal for the LA Kings with 25 wins so far this year. He'll be opposed by John Van Beesbrook from the Rangers. Healy has had the last couple of games off with Kelly Hrudey seeing action. And Healy, the first goaltender to reach 20 victories on the season, 25 wins, 16 losses, and 2 ties. He's 2-1 lifetime against the Rangers. In fact, picked up his first National Hockey League victory in October of '87 in this building. John Van Beesbrook will oppose him. And I guess the Bees are hit rock bottom against the Maple Leafs a short time ago, Jerry. He sat out for 4 straight with Bob Froese filling in, then came back with an impressive showing in Quebec, a 7-2 win Saturday. Ron Hogarth, the referee, Gord Brossiker, and Dan McCord on the linesman.
Last time John Van Beesbrook played in this building, Rick, there's a lot of boos around, but they love him. They know that he's won many a hockey game for him in here.
Well, they've certainly played much better hockey at both ends of the rink since that debacle, losing 10-6 to the Maple Leafs. David Shaw back with the puck. It's taken away by Wayne Gretzky. Gretzky moving it out in front, and it's regained by Lucien Deblois. 3-on-2 break for the Rangers, and it's broken up by Tom Laidlaw. Deblois hands it to Brian Leach, lets it go, and it's kicked out by Healy. Mike Allison has the puck, number 10 for the Kings, maneuvers in. He encounters Shaw, throws it toward the net. Krushelnyski trying to get a stick on it. Back comes Brian Mullen for New York. His long drive is fended off by Healy. Mullen in there for it. Gretzky sends it around. And the Kings will bring it out. Gretzky gets the pass right back again. Kings in the midst of a line change. Igor Liba is on, a former Ranger. Michel Petit on the New York defense. The pass for Granato is dug away by Gretzky. He'll now head for the bench. Mark Hardy is back with the puck. Hardy's pass to Jason Lafreniere is dug away by Igor Liba. Liba, the pass for Steve Kasper. He's met by Petit. Granato scoops it up. And the Rangers Rookie of the Year candidate steams ahead, trying to turn the corner, and Doug Crossman couldn't quite get around him. Granato with 34 goals, beats Lafreniere. On the point, Petit shoots, and it's deflected wide. Liba comes up with it. Chips it ahead for John Tonelli. Makes his pass in front of Tom Kasper's stick, and Petit has it. 4 Kings are back defensively as Petit lobs it in. Dean Kennedy beaten to it by Tomas Sandstrom. Guy Lafleur is on for the Rangers. Lafreniere scoops it up. Lafreniere, the former Quebec Nordique, with his pass, and backing up was rookie defenseman Jeff Bloomberg, playing it safe. He'll lob it back into that zone. Ron Greshner has been bothered by a back injury, and he is not suited up for this game. Bloomberg gets the call instead. Here's Bernie Nichols. Drives it in, and Van Beesbrook gloves it. We've played 2.5 minutes of scoreless hockey. Out comes James Patrick. The lead for Guy Lafleur. Ogrodnik in left wing shoots a stick save by Healy, and it's cleared away by Tim Waters. Darren Turcotte went tumbling through the goal mouth, and the crowd was oohing and awing about that collision with an LA player. Bombs Baumgartner could come up with it. Turcotte does. Darren Turcotte with his pass behind Lafleur. Turcotte has it back, shoots, and it's blocked by Waters and fed out to center ice to Bernie Nichols.
Rick, this is a real interesting line the Rangers have together. Veterans Ogrodnik and Guy Lafleur and rookie Darren Turcotte. Now, we saw this line together in an exhibition game here at Madison Square Garden. Looking at Wayne Gretzky, 2 games without a point. What a slump. Rick, anyway, to continue my thought, remember this line they had Turcotte, Ogrodnik, and Lafleur. Bergeron immediately, we talked to him after the game, he said, that line will never make it. And he just, disbanded it immediately, but here they are together again.
Mike Krushelnyski taps the puck in deep to Mike Allison. Allison with his pass intended for Gretzky, and David Shaw comes up with it. Back comes DeBlois, 3-on-2. Brian Mullen reaches for the puck. In for DeBlois. Kissio is covered by Duchesne, and the Kings turn the play around. It's Krushelnyski. Here's Gretzky. Shoots. Saved by Van Beesbrook, and the rebound in front. It's covered up. And the Rangers' Shaw, trying to make a hand pass, decides he'd better cover it and get the whistle. We look at Mike Allison. We'll remind you that this copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the National Hockey League and is intended for the private, non-commercial use of our audience. Any publication, reproduction, retransmission, or other use of the pictures, descriptions, and accounts of this game without the express written consent of the NHL and Sports Channel is prohibited.
Rick, we mentioned at the opening of this show that Lucien Debois has the experience to handle Wayne Gretzky. Well, on that last shift, he blindly threw the puck from behind the Kings net, and there was 3 Kings there, none of his line mates, and down came the Kings with their best opportunity, and everyone backed in on Gretzky, as they automatically do, and Gretzky drilled one, and John Van Beesbrook was right at the top of the crease and made the save. But when you're checking, that's your job, is to check. You can't take that low percentage pass that Debois took.
Kings win the draw. Kennedy shoots, and it's tipped wide. Van Beesbrook tries to clear it. Here's Marty McSorley swinging it out in front. Mark Hardy jabs at it, and Ron Duguay, the former Ranger, starts it back in. Duguay, twice a Ranger in his career, traded to the Kings just about a year ago for Mark Hardy. Crossman's shot is tipped wide by Michel Petit. Van Beesbrook plays it out to Joe Patterson in left wing. Duguay holds it in. Petit blocks the pass. From the blue line, it's Kennedy once again. His shot through a screen, and it's wide, and it deflects off the ledge of the boards and into the seats. As we look at Jay Miller, the former Bruin tough guy.
You talk about interesting lines. How would you like to be Ron Duguay centering Jay Miller and Marty McSorley? Your main thought is keep out of the way. Jay Miller, I'll tell you, he's you got to give this guy credit, Jay Miller. He's really developed his skills, Rick. He didn't have much to start with, but he's worked hard at them, and he's remained in the National Hockey League. Not necessarily because he's a tough guy, that certainly helps, because he can play hockey a little bit. And you have to give guys like him and Dave Brown occasionally some credit. You know, the way this league's leaning, you're going to have to be able to play hockey to play in this league.
Well, Patoric expects him to be able to play, and certainly you can say with the Kings' firepower, they could afford to have a Marty McSorley and Jay Miller in the lineup. But still, as you say, you've got to be able to play, and not just the occasional shift on the 4th line. Miller became a pretty effective 4th line player with the Bruins last season. Here's Casper, another former Bruin, trying to clear. It's held in by Patrick. Down goes Granato. Laidlaw chops at it. It ends up with Tomas Sandstrom. He's checked in that corner by Steve Duchesne. Sandstrom, the Rangers' leading scorer, as well as their leader in penalty minutes, trying to outmaneuver Casper, and Duchesne comes up with it. Canelli had trouble picking up the puck. He'll get a second crack at it. Here's a pass intercepted by Bloomberg, and the rookie just called up from Denver of the International Hockey League will dump it in. No score. We've played just over 5 minutes. Here's Tom Laidlaw, yet another former New York Ranger in this LA lineup. He runs into Jason Lafreniere. Guy Lafleur trying to shake free. Down he goes. He was tripped up by Tonelli. The crowd irate that there's no call, but the Rangers instead are whistled on the offside. 14:41 left here in the first period. Our score, the Kings nothing and the Rangers nothing.
Look at Michel Bergeron. He's driving. He's saying to
Lafreniere, you got to drive at this team all the time.
That's what they're trying to do with Lafreniere in every game. Say he's a tremendously skilled young player, and some nights he shows that. Other nights he does not show up. So they're trying to get a more consistent effort out of him, and certainly Bergeron knows him as well as anyone, having him in Quebec early in his career. Here's Ken Baumgartner playing the puck out to center. Krushelnyski cruises in, shoots, a save by Van Beesbroek. Krushelnyski gets it back to Allison. A pass for Crossman trying to sneak in. The Rangers have a 2-on-1. It's Kelly Kissio and Mullen. Kissio waits, shoots, and it's smothered by Dean Kennedy. Krushelnyski throws a check, manages to control the puck as well. Allison going to fight off the check from Deblois. Gretzky makes the pass. And a good job defensively by Shaw. Prevented Jay Miller from getting an opportunity. Here's Leach. Leach, who leads all rookies in scoring with 61 points. He's held up at the Kings defense. Mullen is back for it. Gretzky in there forechecking. Leach can't clear it. Yes, he did. Gord Brosiker right there to blow the whistle. And we got the whistle to the offside. Jerry, we were here in December for these teams meeting here at the Garden. Before the game, this man was traded to the Rangers for Igor Liba. Now here we are 2 months later, and he's back with the Kings.
This man right made a great play. He played a 2-on-1 perfectly. You watch number 4 Crossman get caught. And this is Mullen and Kelly Kissio going down on the 2-on-1. Look at Ken. He stays right in the middle, blocks the pass from going across, advertised to his goaltender that I've got the pass. You go out and did it somewhat unorthodox as he slid out on his belly, but nevertheless they beat the play, and that was important, and a great job by Dean Kennedy.
Vic Sorley gives the puck to Duguay. He's chased by Darren Turcotte. Turcotte knocks down Ken Baumgartner, has the puck, going to stuff it in front, and smothered by Healy, and he'll hang on now as Baumgartner and Lafleur push and shove.
I'll tell you one thing, Baumgartner, you know, if he'd ever got 2 minutes with roughing with Guy Lafleur, could be his biggest thrill in hockey. Here's this no call on Baumgartner as he is tripped. Turcotte's going to try and cut to the front of the net. He was looking to pass, but there was not available, and he just painted himself into a corner. And I'm sure that Baumgartner could go home in the summer. He says, yeah, Lafleur and I got into it at Madison Square Gardens, and I don't think Guy Lafleur could ever be bothered with the Baumgartner.
Darren Turcotte, who hails from the Boston area, played junior hockey in North Bay. In fact, Bloomberg on the Ranger defense right now was a teammate of his. And Bloomberg will give chase back to his own end. He's paired with James Patrick. Here's a pass to Kerry Wilson. It's chopped away by Casper. Liba reaches for it. Tonelli shakes free of the check, lets the shot go, and it's off the chest of Van Beesbroek. James Patrick clears that zone. Steve Duchesne scoops it up. Angles it to center. Brian Leach will dump it right back in. Laidlaw around to play it. He's met in there by Joe Patterson. Kerry Wilson follows up for the Rangers. Tony Granato has joined that line. He drops it back to Shaw. Wrist shot, a stick save by Healy. Granato going to swing out in front. Trying to get it to Leach, and it's broken up. The Kings have a 4-on-1. Here comes Liba. Shaw is back. Igor Liba waits. Goalbound pass. Deflected by Van Beesbroek. And he somehow kept it out. Here's Wilson with a pass out of Granato's reach. Laidlaw racing back for it, wins the race, and icing is the call against New York.
Igor Liba led the attack, the 4-on-1 as you described it, Rick. You see him shaking his head somewhat. Brian Leach gets caught right here. He does not have a forward back on him. A bad play by the rookie. And you can see two of the Kings right here. Leach working to get back in the play. It looks like if this went in, it might not have counted as it may have been directed in with the skate, but it was well played by Michel Petit. Two good defensive plays by defensemen that were caught in a very tough situation, one by Kennedy and one by Michel Petit.
Van Beesbrook might be asking that very question of Ron Hogarth. Would it have counted? Well, Leba maybe hasn't seen too many 4-on-1s back in Czechoslovakia. He was shaking his head as he went to the bench. Doug Crossman, the former Flyer and Blackhawk. The pass ahead, and ends up with Brian Mullen. He'll shoot it in for the Rangers. We have no score. 11:25 remaining in the opening period. Dean Kennedy with a pass too far for Allison to get to. Icing waved off. Mark Hardy back for it. Hardy with a pass up the middle for DeBlois. He'll chip it in. Healy looks for Gretzky. Plays it to Crossman. Gretzky's on with Allison and Mike Krushelnyski. Here's Gretzky swerving in. His pass, though, is intercepted by DeBlois. The lead is by Kissio. Icing waved off once again. Kennedy's back for it. Mullen in there for checking. Healy decides to stay put. Kissio makes the play, and it's deflected away. And back come the Kings on the 3-on-2. And Leach holds up the LA rush. Here's a steal, and Waters steps in. Gretzky makes the shot, goes in front to Krushelnyski. It bounced off the heel of his stick, and Mullen has a 3-on-2 the other way. The Rangers are changing. Ryan Leach leaves it. Granato shoots, and a save by Healy. Krushelnyski got rid of the rebound, and Gretzky comes up with it. 3-on-3. End-to-end action here, and Leach once again steals a pass. He finds Granato. Snaps one off well wide of Healy. Swooping in for it, it's Tomas Sandstrom. And behind the play, Granato and Baumgartner started mixing it up. Hogarth blows the whistle, and now Waters gets in there to take a shove at Granato, and that draws a crowd. And Baumgartner, one of the tougher players in professional hockey, and he's got shaft of that stick right under the nose of Sandstrom.
Looking at the ever-hustling Tony Granato, I'll tell you one thing. Every time he steps on the ice, he just lifts this Ranger team. He just gives it all he's got every second out there. He gets 2 minutes for holding. Baumgartner gets 2 minutes for roughing.
During the ebb and flow of a 80-game season, well, we'll see what happened here.
You see right behind the net, I don't see any holding. This must have been, we see it after the fact. Now, Baumgartner's going to circle and come in here. That's how he gets the roughing call.
Various rookies have risen to the top of the pack, and what a class it's been here in 88-89. Granato and Leach are certainly at the top. We're going to see another one Thursday in Hartford. Trevor Linden of the Vancouver Canucks.
Oh, boy, he's come late, hasn't he? But what, like you say, what a class of rookies this year. It started with Skaki. For the Nordiques, Herdina, even though he's a little older and has had a lot of experience in international competition, he is still a rookie. You know, Sean Burke, who, you know, has had a tough season. His team's had a tough year, and he's a rookie. Trevor Linden, we mentioned. But I think the winner is on the ice tonight. Either Granato.
Well, you're hedging your bet there.
Well, Granato or Leach.
Well, which one is it?
We also should mention, Rick, on that topic is.
Here's Dave Taylor cutting in. He scores! Taylor just kept driving through the defense, and he swept it underneath Van Beesbrook for the game-opening goal.
Good determination by Dave Taylor. And he once again scores for the Kings. His third goal in 3 games. You're not supposed to beat a defense tandem. This ends up being a 1-on-2. Well, actually 1-on-3, counting John Van Beesbrook, the goaltender. Here's the pass right here as he cuts to the middle. Here it is. Boy, that's just good leg work and good determination to give the Kings the lead. We'll look at it from another angle. Robitaille with a nice little pass towards the middle. Good work by Taylor in keeping his balance to get that shot off. Let me finish my thought on the rookies. We're forgetting a couple of guys that I think they're down the list a little bit, but Craig Janney from the Bruins and Scott Young from the Whalers had super years.
And Peter Sidorkin. Probably the best rookie goalie going right now. Nichols with a shot. It's handled by Van Beesbrook.
Taylor is 21st for Robitaille and Waters.
Robitaille and Waters assist on Taylor's 21st at 10:18. Well, somewhere along the line, the Kings are going to have to get a goal from someone other than Dave Taylor. In their 1-1 tie, he had the goal last night in New Jersey. They lost 4-1 on Friday in Edmonton. He had the only goal there. And Taylor's looking for another against O'Grodnik. Slips it to Luc Robitaille. Out in front. Here's Duchesne trying to stuff it home. He's held off by Van Beesbroek. Out comes Turcotte. The lead is knocked down by Waters. Bernie Nichols with 57 goals. What a terrific year he's having. And he's dumped by Turcotte. Lafleur on the move. Lafleur leaves it. The shot by Mullen is just wide. Kings leading on the goal by Taylor with 8.5 to go in the first period. Igor Liba steps around Deblois. He accelerates to the defense, and he's bumped there by Bloomberg. Kissio with his pass off Mullen's skates. Laidlaw takes it, and it goes right to Mullen. Crossman over for it. Healy takes a whistle as he sensed Kissio was in the neighborhood. Tom Laidlaw, the 9-year man. Healy once again will cover that loose puck with a stoppage in play.
But the LA Kings have did a good job defensively this period. Outside of the gamble by Crossman, it set up a 2-on-1 between Mullen and Kissio, one that Dean Kennedy defended so well. As we look at Kelly Rudy, I'm going to bring up a point here soon. You see the color of his gloves? They're Islander colors. They don't go with black, silver, and white, and his pads are that color too. There's got to be a rule in hockey because that looks terrible. You know, black, silver, white. I don't even know what the Islander colors are. Blue and orange, I guess.
I don't know if he's a sharp dresser off the ice, but
boy.
I read somewhere today they tried to spray paint his pads black and really didn't do much of a job. I can imagine what those looked like. Van Beesbroek out to play the puck, and it hit John Tonelli. Duguay runs into a Bloomberg behind that net. Kasper's pass is blocked by Patrick. Duguay runs into Bloomberg once again. Gary Wilson around for Granato. Doug Crossman trying to start it once again in that Ranger zone. Patrick. Sandstrom will let the puck carry down the ice. Dean Kennedy gets there for it. Sandstrom on a steal, goes to Granato, looks for Wilson, waits, can't get a shot away as Kennedy roughed him up. And the Kings sprint back. Crossman on the backhand, hooks it in front. Gretzky, the backhander, is blocked by Van Beesbroek. Through the scramble, it's worked away by Wilson. He'll backhand it out. The Kings sneak Gretzky on there, trying to get him away from Deblois. Kissio's pass over Deblois' stick. Kennedy gives it to Allison. Wayne Gretzky starts it back to Kennedy. And Beesbroek leaves it for Hardy. Hardy with a pass out for Kissio and dribbled away to Steve Duchesne. Brushelniski. Rink wide for Allison. Petit got to it. Kelly Kissio. Joined by Deblois. Here's the pass to the late man Hardy. He gives it to Mullen. He's checked by Kennedy. The puck squirts free right to Duchesne. Gretzky back to Duchesne. He's hooked by Deblois. Continues on though, trying to make a play from his knees, and David Shaw grabs it. Pass intercepted by Duchesne. Kelly Kissio will just dump it in. The Rangers go for a line change. 5:45 remaining here in the opening period. Lafleur on a steal, trying to beat Baumgartner. Baumgartner latches on and runs him into the boards. Here comes Wayne Gretzky. He's 47 points in his last 17 games to pass Gordie Howe as the NHL's all-time leading scorer. John O'Grodnik has Lafleur busting into the backhand. He scores!
You talk about exciting a crowd. Well, we just saw a man right here.
You're going to see David Shaw. He's going to find John Ogrodnik in the left wing. Good pass by John Ogrodnik. That's a Lafleur bust through, and a backhanded goal past the short side. Here's a pass again by Shaw to Ogrodnik. And listen to this building. They're up in their feet cheering, and here's the goal by Lafleur. I'll tell you, look at this. He takes a little whack by Bumgardner after, but it's worth it when you can score like that.
Lafleur has missed 13 games due to injuries this season. Scores his 15th goal. Ogrodnik and Shaw the assists at 14:40. We're tied at 1 with 5:05 left in the first. So Patterson trying to start it in, and the play is offside.
With that goal, Guy Lafleur moves into a tie with Frank Mahovlich for 9th place in the all-time goal-scoring list.
That's his 533rd of his great career. Now in his 15th season in the NHL. Sandstrom. Bumped by Taylor. Taylor comes up with a puck. Patrick at the blue line. His pass is by Lafreniere. Here's the feed ahead for Nichols. One-on-one with Patrick. Nichols chops it in, and he sends it over the glass and out of play. 1-1. The Rangers and the Kings are tied here in the first.
Rick, you know, you got to give Phil Esposito credit for signing Guy Lafleur. A lot of general managers wouldn't have, but Phil recognized the leadership that this man gives his hockey team in the dressing room and on the ice, the class that he has. And I take my hat off to Phil Esposito for what he did.
John Ogrodnik races ahead. Lets the shot go just wide. John Tonelli over for it.
See what John Ogrodnik did there, Rick? Excuse me. He saw where Lafleur's goal went, so he took a little off his shot in that attempt to go to that same area on the short side.
Ogrodnik, a former 55 goal man 5 years ago. Here's the pass. Ogrodnik with a shot, a stick save by Healy. And the Rangers get back defensively as Kasper's held up by Lafleur. It's Leach looking for Ogrodnik. Stumbles, gets it to Leach, shoots, hit the post. That shot was deflected off an LA stick and hit the goal post and fooled Healy. Petit, checked by Tonelli. Turcotte, the 20-year-old rookie, lifts it by Ogrodnik, who's on his way to the bench in a line change. Crossman glides out, makes his pass ahead to Gretzky. Watched closely by Mullen. Gretzky continues on. Followed now by Deblois. Gretzky circling. Krushelnyski takes the pass. Hardy poked it away. Tonelli throws it in front. Crossman shot is dug away by Mullen, who had dropped his stick. Goes to the bench for a new one. Under 3 minutes left here in the first, and we're tied at 1. Petit's pass to Kissio. Lifts it in. Mullen gets to it from the angle, rolled it in front, and coming back was Allison to intercept. Petit plays it back in. Kissio gets onside. Doug Crossman came to the Kings from the Flyers at the end of September. Kings work it into Allison. Makes his pass to Gretzky. Slips it into Krushelnyski, trying to center it, hit the side of the goal. Van Beesbrook couldn't freeze it. Bloomberg gets rid of it. Waters comes across to play it. He wrangles there with Sandstrom. Waters wants a whistle. Now he has to play it. Bloomberg with a pass just out of Granato's reach. Baumgartner back, and we got the whistle for the icing, and Granato and Baumgartner meet once again, and they're kept apart. 1:58 remaining here in the first period. Taylor and Lafleur have the goals in this one.
I'll tell you, the Rangers are bad at that, not protecting guys. Did you read that paper today about the other day in somewhere?
Oh, a 30 out of the lineup. Nyland.
We're looking at Michel Bergeron. He's steaming. Look at him. He's yelling to Hogarth. Now this is the end of an icing as Granato tries to beat it, and Bumgarner just rolls over him and mugs him up a little bit. And I think that Michel Bergeron has got a case here. And the Rangers have got to do something about Bumgarner. Every shift on the ice, he's taking a shot at Granada or Guy Lafleur, or someone, you know, that doesn't have that tough guy image. I'm wondering if this would happen if number 30, Chris Nyland, was in the lineup for the New York Rangers.
Jerry, they've maintained first place. Actually, they've bounced back and forth a little bit, but I think he's a real key man to the success of their team. He means a lot to him, Chris Nyland, and he's on the sidelines, still bothered by a pulled muscle in his hip. Jan Eriksson has some back trouble that's requiring a CAT scan. They think it might be serious. They're missing him, as well as Ulf Dahlen. Normand Rochefort is out for the year with knee surgery. Rudy Poshik has bruised knuckles. You can imagine how he acquired those. Paul Sear out for the year with knee surgery as well.
I didn't know Pochek blocked shots. Is that how you get bruised knuckles?
Geez, I don't know. Here's Leach as he lobs it back inside that LA line. Laidlaw interferes with Sandstrom. He's going to get a call. And now they bump. Sandstrom bumps into Healy. Frenier and Casper collided back in that corner as well. And former Ranger Tom Laidlaw heads to the penalty box. We'll have our first power play opportunity of the game.
But you know, Hogarth has let a lot of things go this period, and he's going to call this right here for holding or interference or whatever too. But there's been a lot worse things that happened than what we just saw in this period. That's sometimes you can't trust referees or officials. You think they're going to let everything go, as he did in the first 19 minutes, but all of a sudden he calls that. He kind of thought the things were just getting out of hand somewhat. Holding to Laidlaw. Number 21 for the Rangers takes a hit right here, and he is being attended to. I think he got kicked or something right here when it comes down. Oh, right in top of the foot. I felt that.
Rangers in the power play lead. Shoots a pass saved by Henley. Lafleur sends it over the net. This is where the Rangers had struggled on the power play, and here at Madison Square Garden, where they're 21st in power play efficiency at home. Turcotte with a pass deflected. Under a minute to go in the first period. We're tied at 1. The Kings clear the zone. The Rangers power play efficiency here at the Garden, 15.4%. They were only 4 for 42 until they broke out of that in a 7-2 win over Quebec Saturday night on the road with 3 for 6 with a man advantage. Here's Lafleur to Kerry Wilson. Pass hit Casper. Turcotte struggles to get to it. Casper takes him down. The puck is poked ahead, and it's Wayne Gretzky on the move with 5 shorthanded goals this year. He's interested in killing clock at this time. 17 seconds to go in the period. The lead is read by Leach. Lafleur leaves it. Wilson can't tee it up. He's decked by Kennedy. Lafleur shoots. He scores!
Six seconds left in a power play goal for the Rangers, and Guy Lafleur's second goal of the night. But the key to this play was the Kings getting too fancy and killing the clock, as you mentioned, Rick. Brian Leach made the interception. Right here is a cross-brink pass is intercepted by Leach. Everyone stays onside, and eventually you're going to watch Lafleur to the right of Glenn Healy. Backhanded pass by Sandstrom, and Lafleur gets his second goal of the game past Healy. Guy Lafleur with 2 first-period tallies. He just went by Frank Mahovlich.
That tie didn't last long. Malmberg drives it in, and there's the buzzer ending the first period, and the Rangers crowd here at Madison Square Garden rising to its feet and applauding the efforts of this man, Guy Lafleur, with 2 goals, the second one of the power play. Jerry, Wayne Cashman told you that certainly the power play was a big area of improvement for the Rangers, something they needed to work on to get going down the stretch and heading for the playoffs. Do you think they're concerned about Van Beesbrook, whose better play this season, I think, was early in the season?
Rick, I think that's why they give him 4 games off. His performance here against the Leafs in that 10-4 shellacking, I think, really indicated to the brass of the Rangers that he needed some time off. And I think everyone, no matter what position you play, should have, 6 to 10 days off every season.
Brian Leach cruising toward the net. His shot is steered away by Healy, and Mike Krushelnyski has the puck. He headmans to Gretzky. Gretzky cruising in against the grain, shoots, and it's blocked in front. Rebound, they score! Doug Crossman picked up the loose puck after the first shot hit Leach, and the Kings tie it 26 seconds into the second period.
When you're a winger and the puck's in your zone, your job is the point man. In this case, the left winger for the Rangers missing assignment as Crossman will be in front all by himself. But when you give Gretzky time to control the puck in your zone, you give him this much time, he's dangerous. Good shot by Gretzky. As you say, it's blocked. But here comes Crossman, and you see Mullen there. Brian Mullen. I think Joey Mullen might have had him. But Crossman come in from the point to knock the rebound in.
Crossman having a pretty good offensive year, his 10th goal at the 26-second mark. Gretzky certainly will get an assist on it. Here's the pass ahead for Brian Mullen. Kennedy out to meet him. Debelois circling, and it ripped off his stick by Mike Allison. Crossman with a lead for Gretzky. What a pass right on his stick, but two Rangers were back defensively, and Kissio takes over. Rink wide pass to Mullen, shooting, and a pass saved by Healy.
An assist from number 99, Wayne Gretzky.
Here's the announcement on the assist. Krushelnyski gets the other assist with Gretzky. Leba just off the bench, leaves it to Nelly, shoots it, and it's deflected wide. Leba sends it through the goal mouth, and it's picked up by Kissio.
Rick, that went through Van Beesbrook as well as the goal mouth. That went right between his legs.
Duchesne anticipated the pass, but the Rangers get it back again. Kissio in the off wing, trying to thread the needle on that play, but it hit Casper. Sandstrom checked by Casper. Casper wins that battle for the puck easily, and he'll lead the rush out. It's a four-man rush for the Kings. Duchesne trailing the play. Leba can't get things organized, and the Kings will head out to center to get it onside once again. We're tied up at 2. A quick goal by Crossman from Gretzky and Krushelnyski at the 26-second mark is not of the score. So the Kings hope that their scoring woes have ended. Here's Lafreniere looking for Granato. Duchesne over to play it. Sandstrom with his pass intercepted by Steve Duchesne. Dave Taylor, who had the first Los Angeles goal, stick handles in. He's going to the net again, but he lost the puck this time. And the 22-year-old Lafreniere plays it up the boards, and Granato clears it. Jeff Bloomberg back for it, just called up from Denver. They've had to make a few recalls from the IHL affiliate with all the injuries the Rangers have. Ogrodnik laying it in front to Lafleur. Play is offside as Lafreniere was trying to get over the boards into the bench, and he was in that LA zone.
Number 9 for the Kings, Bernie Nichols, has been somewhat silent this evening. Last time in this building, he was all over the place. Of course, he was on the line with Gretzky that evening.
Darren Turcotte trying to get set up for the shot. Lafleur takes a whack at it and hits Ogrodnik in front. Healy sprawls, and he makes 2 saves and covers the puck. Lafleur making it happen as Ogrodnik was parked right in front of the net.
Lafleur just turned at the blue line and directed the puck towards the net. It was in the air, and what happened, it hit someone in front and went bounced down to Ogrodnik. You see how high this was. There's the first chance. Now there's going to be a second opportunity here, but Healy does a good job in keeping his legs together and blocking the rebound attempt.
Wonder what he's thinking at this point. He's been the #1 guy all year. His second year in the NHL, first goalie to get to 20 wins, and now he's in the background behind Kelly Rudy.
Well, he should be thinking he's the #2 goalie now. He's going to play about every 4th or 5th game.
Hardy from the blue line on the backhand. His shot is wide. Healy didn't appear to see that. He was down looking through several pairs of legs for that shot, and it was up around shoulder height. We got a whistle, and a discussion begins along the boards.
Well, Allison, Mike Allison, number 10, he's said, I didn't hear the whistle. He's not the type of guy that's going to hit you late like that. He apologized, or, you know, he put his hands up saying, I'm sorry, I didn't hear the whistle, and I have to believe him. Like that last shot, that backhander by Hardy, Glenn Healy had no idea where the puck was. In fact, from up here in our angle, I kind of thought it was going in. If it was on the net, I think it would have been in.
Wayne Gretzky, 46 points now in his last 17 games, including tonight, to pass Gordie Howe to be the all-time leading scorer in NHL history. You think he can pull it off before the end of the season?
I'm sure he can, but I don't know if that's important to him, if that's as important to him as making sure this LA King is in perfect shape for their series with the Edmonton Oilers. That's the most important thing to him.
Yeah, the Oilers have had their number this season. They've won something like 4 out of 5, I guess, in the season series as we have a delay. Kissio comes out to say something to Hogarth, and apparently they were just waiting for him to get on the ice and complete the unit on for the Rangers.
What happened, Gretzky went to his coach, Vitorik, then Kelly Kissio went to Bergeron. It's probably got something to do with changing or last change.
Mullen lobs the puck toward the LA zone. Kennedy intercepts, and he misses Gretzky on the pass. Van Beesbrook sends the puck around. It's knocked down by Allison. Recovered by Brian Mullen. The lead is off Kissio's stick. Crossman back defensively. Deblois bringing it in offside behind him. Lucien Deblois wasn't a bad scorer when he started his NHL career. He averaged 28 goals over the first 5 years he was in the league, including his years back in the late 70s here in New York.
And I can remember Lucien Deblois coming down the right wing with a decent shot, capable of blowing it by a goaltender any time. Now he's used as a defensive centerman. It's okay with him as long as he's playing in the National Hockey League. He's hung on for a long time.
And they're very thankful he's been able to get the job done defensively, because their ace checker, Jan Eriksson, as we mentioned, might have some serious back trouble. Here's Krushelnyski with a pass behind Gretzky. Joe Patterson on left wing, bumped right out of there by Allison. And the Kings moving ahead to center. Krushelnyski lays it back to Crossman. Gretzky hits Crossman. Ahead for Krushelnyski. Igor Liba couldn't take the pass. Krushelnyski does. He struggles to get away from a check. Lost the puck to Leach. Igor Liba has it. Across to Doug Crossman. Wrist shot is deflected away. Liba plays it back to the point. Laidlaw, the screen shot, and it's blocked in front by Brian Leach. Pass out to Kevin Miller. Another late recall from Denver, the International Hockey League. Gretzky's held up by Deblois. Granato sneaks into that zone, looks for Deblois. It bounced away. Granato has it right back. He's trying to get something started with Tomas Sandstrom. But the Kings reclaim the puck. Granato takes it. Crossman moves it away from Sandstrom. Around for Gretzky. John Tonelli on left wing. The lead for Liba. Liba has Gretzky coming up late with a burst of speed, trying to maneuver around Patrick. Centers. Liba the backhander, and it's blocked. And the puck ends up behind the net. Patrick going to drive it out of the zone, and with a good play by Granato, the Rangers get the job done.
That was a perfect play by Tony Granato as far as being on your point, making sure that the puck leaves the zone.
Hardy tries to hold it in, but Liba is right there. He's been on an awfully long time. Now he makes his way to the bench, and Duguay steps on for him. We're tied at 2 with nearly 6 minutes gone in the second period, and the puck is lifted over the glass and on a play by Steve Duchesne.
We're looking at number 99. He's actually puffy. You don't see that too often. Let's go back and watch Gretzky and Deblois. This is a good pass right here, and Gretzky's going to enter the Rangers zone at high speed. Patrick, who's pretty mobile, he gets caught a little bit, but he does poke the puck off of Gretzky's stick.
Tonelli on the wing with Duguay. From the blue line, Kennedy shoots a stick save by Van Beesbrook. John Tonelli Hands it to Casper. Back to Tonelli. He's dragged down by Hardy. Saved by Van Beesbrook. We have a Ranger penalty upcoming as Wilson controls it. And Hardy is going to go for tripping here at 6:13. So the Kings will get their first chance in the power play. And talk about struggling power plays. They're 0 for 18. That's been a big part of the reason why they have scored 4 goals in their last 3 games coming in. They've gone without a win.
There's no doubt about it, Rick, that the Kings need power play goals to compete in their division. It's a tough division with good power plays. When they don't have that, they're just an ordinary team.
DeBlois is out to try to kill the penalty. He and Mullen work in front of Petit and Brian Leach. Gretzky finds Krushelnyski. Here's Allison. Shooting stick save by Van Beesbrook. Allison ran out of options. Gretzky. Goal now try to Krushelnyski. He tapped it just wide. Looked like he had position on Leach. Gretzky. Allison in the slot. Here's Krushelnyski trying to sneak in the back door, and Leach was ready to steal the pass. DeBlois bounces it out to center. Krushelnyski has it once again. 1:20 left on the Hardy penalty. Liba on the move, cuts in, and Van Beesbrook took a swipe of the puck and missed. He was fortunate Liba couldn't put it home. Rangers want a whistle. And we get the stoppage in play. The officials turn their attention to Allison and Petit, who are battling out in front of the Ranger goal.
Rick, they're both going to go, each for roughing. They'll be coincidental, the penalties. But I'll tell you, Petit got a couple of good shots in. Let's watch this rush by Igor Liba. He loses control of the puck, but a good move by Liba. And I'll tell you one thing, there seems to be a hole between the Ranger defensemen tonight. And this is how the action started. Usually Petit pretty right there. That was the best shot of the duel between these two. Still 1:07 left for the Kings power play.
Roughing to both Allison and Petit.
The Rangers should really learn from what happened early in this power play. Twice Gretzky has tried to find Krushelnyski to the right of Van Beesbrook. Brian Leach has had a problem in getting position on big Krushelnyski. Krus just missed with a couple tap-ins, so the Rangers are going to have to adjust to watch that pass across.
Michel Bergeron has DeBlois and Granato back out there. Patrick is on the defense along with Leach. Kings with Nichols, Taylor, and Robitaille up front. Steve Duchesne and Gretzky now at the points. Robbie Fatorik, the Kings coach, seems to like to save his best for last as far as power play opportunities. Here's Gretzky out of that corner. And Beesbrook trying to poke it away. Taylor stops it home. He scores. Dave Taylor won the race for the far post. And it's 3-2 Kings.
You know, when you're a goaltender and trying to poke the puck off a forward stick behind the goal line, the red line there, and you're not successful, you're in serious trouble. And Taylor realizing this, here's the shoot in by Bernie Nichols. Taylor recognizing this, comes out and stuffs it in. Watch this, the poke check. Well, he did get it, but it went right back to Taylor's stick, and he come on his backhand. It's so much easier to stuff it on your backhand. Actually, Van Beesbrook, I didn't realize it right off the bat, did deflect the puck, so that's not a bad play, but it went right back to Taylor, and you see right here Van Beesbrook hopelessly out of position. But you'll see here he did, in fact, deflect it. So much easier when you come out in front on the backhand to stuff it. But it is a power play goal, one each.
Taylor from Gretzky and Nichols at 7:32. Taylor with his second goal of the game. He scored 4 of the last 5 goals by the Kings. Here's a shot deflected into the chest of Healy by Granato, and Healy makes the stop and hangs on. Gretzky with 2 assists tonight. He had only 1 assist in his last 3 games coming into this game.
Tony Granato did a good job here of deflecting this puck on net. He worked his body around on Waters, and you can see a little jumping Glenn Healy made the save. The whistle had already gone by the time the puck squirted out.
Jumping Glenn Healy, huh?
Well, he is. I'll tell you one thing. He's a very active goaltender. I've mentioned in a few of our telecasts that I like him. And I know he lets a lot of bad goals in and has a lot of goals scored on him, but I'll tell you what, he wins a lot.
Certainly has this season. Here's Leva. Cuts in with Casper. Leva trying to fancy Dan it at the blue line. The Rangers come up with it. Casper gets it back for the Kings, who have scored twice in this second period to take the lead. They trailed 2-1 at the intermission. A goal by Crossman at the 26-second mark tied the game. And now Taylor at 7:32 on the LA power play. Both teams scoring on their first and only opportunities thus far. And it's 3-2 LA. Here's Wilson. Shoots, and it's blocked by Laidlaw. Gary Wilson in after that loose puck. On the point, the shot by Bloomberg is snagged by Healy, and he'll hang on to it.
Wayne Gretzky with a couple assists tonight. I'll tell you, can you just tell by the expression the pressure is getting to him? Very cool, calm, and collected.
Been through this grind more than a couple of times. Here's Turcotte. The point lead shooting, and it's deflected away. Lafleur has it. Lafleur has both New York goals. And Ogrodnik. Checked by Kennedy. It's kicked free, but Nichols is there. Down he goes. Turcotte pounces on that loose puck. Throws it toward the net. It's steered away by Healy. Ogrodnik at the point with Leach with his shot snuffed out, and the Kings turn it around in a four-man rush. Luke Robitaille is held up by Bloomberg. And it's chopped ahead by Ogrodnik. Kennedy there to meet him in the corner. Down they go. Robitaille moves it along for the Kings captain Taylor. 12-year veteran out of Clarkson College. Leaves it for Nichols. Lets it go. Stick save by Van Beesbrook. The rebound try by Robitaille is stopped. And the Rangers bring it back. Mullen can't maneuver around Steve Duchesne. Duchesne interested in trying to play that puck, and Mullen gets away. And now Duchesne is forced to dump Mullen, and he'll go for hooking.
The Rangers have a chance to tie this game up. As you see, Steve Duchesne gets himself into trouble here, Rick, behind the net, as Brian Mullen shows good hustle to get a good position on Duchesne. Duchesne, as some people mentioned, is a candidate for the Norris Trophy award. To me, he's not a good enough defenseman to win that trophy. He's got some points and some numbers, but defensively, I don't think he's a threat.
Rangers with Sandstrom, Lafreniere and Wilson up front. Sandstrom shoots it. It's blocked at the Kings defense and driven down the ice by Waters. LA scored on its first, or I should say the Rangers scored in their first power play opportunity. That was in the waning seconds of period one, and the goal by Lafleur. Here's a pass ahead to Kerry Wilson. Laidlaw falls down. Wilson after his own pass. His pass is snuffed out by Duguay. Gretzky's on the move. Patrick's back. Gretzky gives it to Ron Duguay. He'll just shoot it in. Duguay had been wearing a helmet, we had been told, after he bumped his head on the ice from a check with Dana Merzen on January 31st against Calgary, and apparently has decided to go without the headgear again as Jason Lafreniere, chased by Casper, they're trying to get it to Wilson, and Waters got his stick in there. Patrick beats Lafreniere. Casper's watching him. Jason Lafreniere to Wilson. Back out to Patrick. Across to Leach. Patrick's shot is blocked by Casper. They dribble it toward the net, and Sandstrom picks it up. Sandstrom centers. Leach shoots. Scores!
Talking about Calder or Norris Trophy candidates and Calder Trophy candidates. There's one right here, Brian Leach, who ties this game up with the Rangers' second power play goal. We're going to watch from behind the net. Big Thomas Sandstrom is going to come up with a puck, and he's just going to get it back to the point. Leach comes in and just blasts it through Glenn Healy. This was a rolling puck, but Leach really worked hard at keeping the shot down and on the net. Right from the time it leaves Sandstrom's stick, the puck was bouncing around. I'll tell you, that's a knack to keep that puck down and on the net when it's rolling like that. We saw last night in the game, Rick, that all the rolling pucks, all the shots are going up around the mask area and over the net.
We're tied now at 3. Leach with his 20th goal.
Number 15, Jason Lafreniere.
Sandstrom and Lafreniere assist on the goal at 11:18. As Jerry mentioned, the Rangers now 2 for 2 on the power play. Taylor clears it down the ice. So it looks like Leach is a cinch to break the NHL record for most goals by a rookie defenseman in one season. The record's 22 by Barry Beck, set 11 years ago. He's only 2 away from that. Robitaille moves it ahead to Nichols. Gretzky's on with them. Drop pass is stolen by Ogrodnik. Waters slaps it in. Petit will send it down the ice, and we'll have an icing call against New York. 7:33 remaining here in the second period, and the Rangers have come from behind to tie this game up.
In the second period, Coach Robbie Ftorek of the Kings has done a good job in keeping Gretzky and Krushelinski and Allison away from the Debois line, the checking line of the Rangers. On this faceoff, though, he won't have that opportunity. We'll see if this line comes off Gretzky's line immediately. I doubt it. Gretzky never comes off.
Patrick swings away from a check, and Mullen shoots it in. Healy corrals that loose puck. Looks for Krushelinski, and Debois charges down the boards. Kissio takes on Krushelinski. Gretzky gives it to Tim Waters. Going to pull his way past Mullen, but lost the puck to Leach. Mullen chops at it. Krushelinski right on him. Krushelinski with a steal across to Mike Allison. He's tripped up by Patrick. Gets right back up and joins the battle. Gretzky takes the pass. Gretzky changing direction. Krushelinski jamming and a save by John Van Beesbrook. He had a couple of whacks at it, and it's cleared into that LA bench area. Gretzky working on his 3rd assist of the night.
Gretzky is so dangerous when he has the puck behind the net. He's going to fake here and come back to his forehand. You see John Van Beesbrook loses his stick, but he slid back in time to make the save on Krushelinski. As I said, Rick, when Gretzky gets back here, he's so sharp. Look at this. Debois, he's corkscrewed a hole in the ice trying to go get him.
25-year-old John Van Beesbrook, who is 4-4-1 in 9 appearances in his career against the Kings. He has played the 2 previous meetings in this series, as has Glenn Healy. Kings control. Laidlaw already backed up. He'll shoot it back in that Ranger zone. We're tied at 3, 6.5 to go in the second period. Wilson is decked by Laidlaw. Here's Leva struggling to make the play back to John Tonelli. Hardy takes him down. Tonelli with his pass in front, knocked down. Tonelli with a backhander, and it's stopped by Van Beesbrook. Granato. Long backhand pass right to Kerry Wilson. Swings it on McSorley. The shot is stopped by Healy, and the try by Sandstrom, and Healy gets the whistle. So Bergeron has gone back to this unit of Wilson, Sandstrom, and Granato.
Jason Lafreniere was playing center between Sandstrom and Granato. You can see Wilson is getting a chance to go back with his wingers right here, and here's the pass and the shot by Sandstrom. He didn't get much zip on that shot, but Healy out to make the save. It seems to me that Wilson might have he did have a wrist injury, and maybe he's slow coming back. Only playing the power play to Quebec the other night. Here's Robbie Ftorek with at least his sweaters now are color coordinated. He's got a black sweater on, being on the road and all.
He used to coach right up the road here in New Haven for 2.5 seasons before being named the coach of the Kings in December of '87. Bloomberg shoots the puck in. Ogrodnik in front of Lafleur, and it skipped off his skate. Leach shoots it back in. Dean Kennedy has it. LaFleur on a steal. Looks for Turcotte. He's stopped by Healy. What a pass by Guy Lafleur. LaFleur again. He scores! Guy Lafleur with a hat trick.
Now we're going to be delayed here for about 10 minutes as they take the hats off the ice. But Rick, you said it best. What a pass by LaFleur to Ogrodnik. And this is what led to this goal. Healy made the save, and the Rangers kept at it. But we can take our time explaining this. Look at this crowd. And I'll tell you what, I get goosebumps when I talk about it. I'm so happy that Guy Lafleur returned to the National League this year. There goes the chapeau. I say chapeaus, that's French for hat, as you know.
Oh, of course.
But did you see the pass he made? That was a bullet pass, a beautiful pass. You're going to see the puck come off the boards right here. Here's the original pass to Ogrodnik. Good save by Healy. Here's the goal right over Glenn Healy. Young Dean Turcotte is going to get in the net to get the puck for LaFleur. Don't tell me that isn't a throw for him. And here's a shot, a rolling puck. But he did get good wood on it. It looked like it was a floater from there, but it got up there pretty quick.
The Garden crowd salutes Guy Lafleur. Has to be his first hat trick since at least 1983-84. It's his first of this season. And he played only 19 games before retiring in November of '84 with 2 goals that season. He had 30 in the year of '83-84. So it's been a while since he's heard the cheers for a hat trick. And the Garden crowd wants a curtain call.
I'll tell you one thing, if this was baseball, he'd be in and out of the dugout 5 or 6 times by now.
His 17th goal of the season, his 3rd of the night, and the Rangers lead it 4-3 with 5:25 remaining in the second period. Ogrodnik and Turcotte get the assists on the goal, and DeBlois keeps the pressure on as yet another hat is landed on the ice. Crossman brings it up. Crossman to Gretzky. Allison shoots just wide, and the rebound comes out to Crossman. He had trouble with it. Brushoneski. Mike Allison had his signals crossed with a King defense, and LA was in the midst of a line change. They'll start the rush again. Allison taking on Petit. Gretzky lets it go. He thought Laidlaw was in the zone. He had to take it at center. Duchesne shoots it in. Petit with a pass to Kissio, and the Kings get it right back again. Duchesne with a pass intercepted by DeBlois. DeBlois shoots, and it's blocked at the defense by Laidlaw, and it's lifted out of play. 4:11 to go here in the second period. Our score: the Rangers 4 and the Kings 3.
Rick, you said Guy Lafleur's last hat trick was in 1983.
That's just a guess. I don't really know, but he had 30 goals in '83-84,
Yeah.
and it had to have been at least that long.
Imagine that, and he's still in the league.
After 4 years off, he comes back in a blaze of glory, scores his 18th career hat trick.
You know, it was the other night in Quebec. He got 3 assists. It was his return to Quebec since he come back to play hockey. I'm sure that was some night in Quebec City. I'd like to have about 20 extra tickets about 5 o'clock that night.
Tom Laidlaw gives it to Waters, and the 9-year veteran's pass skips away from Tonelli. Wilson plays it ahead to Sandstrom. He races it, he shoots it, it's deflected by Waters up into the crowd. The scramble is on. The yellow seats for that souvenir. Tomas Sandstrom got off to kind of a slow start. I think he is kind of a slow starter anyway, but he's really picked it up. And boy, did he ever mesh with Kerry Wilson when Wilson came here from Hartford.
Doesn't hurt to have Tony Granata on the right wing.
Absolutely.
The Without looking, guess what's happening?
I cheated, but I didn't have to. Another standing O for Guy Lafleur.
It's quite a story, though, isn't it?
Incredible story. Wanted to come back. Really didn't come to camp in the best of shape. I think he started to get into shape maybe 3 weeks before camp. Just quit smoking prior to that. And people really didn't take his comeback seriously, but he's demonstrated what a phenomenal athlete he is by making the comeback a successful one. Duchesne to Duguay. And he's muscled out of there by Patrick, and Lafleur helps out defensively, and the puck ends up in an LA bench.
People probably don't recognize what Guy Lafleur does defensively. He was the first man in the Kings zone in that last shift, and he was the first forward back. Guy Lafleur is one of the smartest, hardest working forwards that I've ever seen in hockey as far as coming back playing defense, and he knows where to go when he comes back. You saw that last play that James Patrick had Duguay locked up. Lafleur turned around to see what was happening behind him, and he did retrieve the puck and shoot in the stands. Look at this. We got a black hat. Was that a Super Bowl hat there also?
From this year's Super Bowl. You can make some money selling those hats after the game. Taylor fights off a check, cuts in front. Loose puck, it's jammed toward the net, covered by Van Beesbrook, and he is covered by several bodies.
Including Captain Dave Taylor, who has been the best forward on the Los Angeles Kings tonight. And I'll tell you, Dave Taylor is playing like a youngster, and when he was younger, he was hell-bent for leather every time he got the puck around the net and putting his head down and going to the net. As we see right here, the puck was poked off his stick, but it created a lot of confusion and an almost goal. Getting back to Guy Lafleur and playing defense, Rick, I'll tell you one thing. You could always count on him if you're a defenseman and you had a one-on-one situation. You didn't have to worry about anything else because he had things under control. You mentioned Ron Duguay without a helmet. It just might be for this game in New York. You ever think of that? He could not play in this arena with a helmet.
Read somewhere where fans helped to convince him early in his career to get rid of the helmet. Here's Duchesne trying to hit Duguay. The pass is intercepted by Hardy. It's a 3-on-2 for the Rangers. Wilson swings in. Gonna find Granato. It's batted away at the LA defense. Robitaille sends it in deep. A lot of high-scoring LA forwards have been quiet as far as the goal scoring is concerned lately. Tonelli, Robitaille, Nichols, you mentioned, hasn't really scored much in recent games, and Gretzky with a couple of assists tonight, but he doesn't have a goal in a few games. Taylor's been the man for them. Crossman, the pass taken by Krushelnyski. 2:20 to go in the second period. Mike Allison muscles it in front. It's poked away by Van Beesbrook. Krushelnyski's pass stopped by Van Beesbrook. Crossman is robbed twice by John Van Beesbrook, who covers the puck.
Well, Crossman is now officially 1 for 3 with Dave Crossman. Doug Crossman, I should say. Crossman in again from the point, gets a chance similar to the goal he got right here as the puck is deflected out in front. There's the first save, and there's the second save by John Van Beesbrook. We'll get a better look at it from this angle. Crossman, who's having success tonight coming in from the point. You got to watch the guy you're supposed to watch. You see, in this case, it was Kelly Kissio, who was really mesmerized by the play in the corner, and that's how Crossman got by him. But John Van Beesbrook, with his 2 best saves of the game, allows the Rangers to remain with a 1-goal lead.
Kelly Kissio slips it to Petit. He slides it in on goal. It's swept away by Healy. Dean Kennedy can't clear it. Petit is there, shoots, stick save by Healy, and it might have hit the goalpost as well. The Kings have the play under control. It's Gretzky waiting at center. His pass is deflected by Deblois. Allison throws it back to his defense. Crossman's pass is a poor one, and Mark Hardy steps in to pick it off. Hardy leaves it. Mullen shoots it, and it's off the stick of Healy. He had Kissio driving to the net. 1:20 left here in the second period. Tremendous pace, not only to this period, but to the entire game. Here's Crossman maneuvering in. Encounters Leach. The pass reaches Kennedy. The long backhander's knocked down by Crossman. Crossman has it back again. Allison trying to center with a minute to go in the period. Patrick rushes in there to try to control it. Tonelli couldn't pull the trigger, and the pass is stolen by Mullen. The lead for Granato. Healy's out to the circle, and he clears it. Crossman ahead for Gretzky. Leach in pursuit. Gretzky holds up. He's double teamed. Lost it to Leach. Crossman has it back. Patrick now with 33 seconds to go in the period. A lead pass is an errant one, and Laidlaw will catch up to it. Sandstrom trying to work him over. Steve Kasper. Back to Laidlaw. 15 seconds to go in the period. Igor Liva in some trouble. Lafleur. Sandstrom shoots. A great stop by Healy, and the puck is controlled by Waters. There's that man Lafleur again. In the waning seconds of the period as Liva can't get a shot away, and the horn sounds, ending the second period, and once again Guy Lafleur receives a standing ovation.
If Healy wasn't sensational on Sandstrom and Ogrodnik and Turcotte, Lafleur would be 3-3 tonight.
It's 4-3. The Rangers are out in front over the Los Angeles Kings. Let's pause for a local break. Tim Waters with a puck for the Kings. Here's a steal by Kissio. Brian Mullen, as a Kings defenseman, lost his stick, but they recover the puck. And Wayne Gretzky moves it ahead against Leach. And just beating him across that line was Krushelnyski for the offside. Wayne Gretzky, who was the MVP in the All-Star game, his return to Edmonton earlier this month, and was awarded the car as the MVP, the 14th car he's won.
Really? He must have a
garage.
Used car lot in Los Angeles. He lives in the same street as Pat Sajak.
Is that right?
Yep, that's a little trivia for you. All right, here's a trivia for you, too. Who's going to win the MVP in the All-Star game next year? And I'll bet on this right now.
The MVP in the All-Star game next year.
I'll give you a hint. The game's in Pittsburgh.
Well, that's it. Settled. Paul Coffey.
Yeah, might be right. I'll take the other guy, though.
Okay. Barrasso. Lemieux. Okay. Here's Leach with a pass that's over two lines, and it was deflected away, and they'll bring it back inside that Ranger line. Bobby Fatorik, the native of Needham, Mass, directing a little traffic here.
You know, when I see coaches, they always have this piece of paper and a pen, starting with Bob Johnson. He's the guy that started this. And, you know, I don't want to ask them. It's none of my business or anything like that, but I really don't know what they write down. I mean, I could when I coached, and, you know, I was chewing gum, too, at the time, so it was tough for me. But I wouldn't have time to write down. You got to be active. What do you write down? That's what your assistant's there for. You go down the end of the bench and you yell at him and say, write this down.
Crossman with a shot. It's kicked away by Van Beesbrook. Petit with Deblois playing it ahead. Kissio and Leach joining the play. Gets the pass of the move. Trying to get rid of it quickly, and it's blocked at the defense. Crossman in some difficulty now. Kissio in for yet another steal. Looks for Deblois, and the shot goes wide by Leach. Gary, we saw David Shaw get injured earlier in the game. We have not seen him return for the Rangers. Looked like a toe injury. Krushelnyski drops Petit, who lands on the puck, and Ron Hogarth blows the whistle. Mike Krushelnyski. Jerry, I can't figure out, his first year in Edmonton playing with Gretzky in left wing, he had 43 goals. And he has 16 the next year. 16 and then 20 last year.
I'll tell you, that stat, they fit his personality that way. Sometimes Krushelnyski can be the most awesome player in the game, and other times he'll just float his way through the game. He's a great kid, you know, a very classy individual, but sometimes he just trips and he doesn't pay much attention to the game. But when he's the top of his game and his intensity level is at a high, he's a very good player.
Where do you like him, at center or the wing?
I like him at center. He can fall asleep too often at the wing. You got to put him in a position where he can, have the freedom to, be active all the time. You put him at the wing occasionally, and he'll get up on the left wing and you forget about the game.
Hardy slaps it in for the Rangers. Wilson playing it in deep for Granato. He's wrapped up by Baumgartner. Slips away to make the pass, though. Hardy at the blue line. Chops it in. It hit a stick. Bounced in the slot, and Kasper controls it. Igor Liva gets it back to Kasper. Tonelli shoots, and it's deflected wide by Hardy. Tonelli gets help from Liva. Tricky Igor Liva swings in front. Works it to Tonelli. Backhander stop. The rebound is stopped. Another try is stopped. Kasper with 2 shots. Tonelli 1. And Van Beesbroek had the answer for all 3 of them. Granato trying to send Tomas Sandstrom on a breakaway, but it's intercepted by Liva.
Igor Liva has been a very impressive player tonight. He's got great hands, good offensive skills. I don't know why they haven't tried him with Gretzky.
He was on with him in the first period, I believe, and hit him with a great pass where most players on the ice wouldn't have found Gretzky. He knew he was there and hit him in stride. Here's Duchesne chopping it toward the net. It deflects into Bloomberg, bounced away. Leach trying to get it out of trouble. Lafleur to the rescue along with O'Grodny. Lafleur in the off wing. He shoots, a save by Healy, and he doesn't take any chances. He'll cover it up.
And you see Guy Lafleur with the speed like he just showed us in this last shift. I'll tell you, he can shoot the puck as hard as anyone at top speed.
Rangers continue here in the third with a 1-goal lead.
We're looking at John Van Beesbroek, who just seconds ago made some key saves in this hockey game. The first on John Tonelli and a couple on Steve Kasper. One from Kasper's backhand and finally from his forehand. Here's the shot we were talking about Lafleur. Wow, did he rip this baby. Got right up in the chest area. Glenn Healy will learn when a Guy Lafleur or a shooter is at an angle like that, stay in your feet. He got that right up in the chest. If he'd come out and stayed in his feet, he would have got it in the goal pad area.
And Baumgartner, formerly of the Sabre organization, bounces it off the boards, and we'll have an icing call with Petit back to touch up. And the whistle blows.
Rick, I'd like to get back to what I was mentioning about coaches writing things down on the pad. Don Cherry, as we all know, is one of the top, I don't know, how would you describe it, critics in Canadian television as far as hockey goes, coach's corner, and a real expert in the game. Well, at least he thinks he is, right? No, I'm just kidding.
You would never argue with that.
No, but he demanded to know what Bob Johnson was writing on the piece of paper. We all remember Bob Johnson always doodling or scribbling, and finally Johnson answered. He said, 100 times a game I write in that paper that Don Cherry is a jerk.
Well, there's your answer.
That's right.
Brian Leach out of Cheshire, Connecticut. Crossman, who has a goal in this game, gives the puck to his partner Waters. Lafreniere latched onto him, and the Rangers trying to clear as it's Mullen in there working with Kissio. They have been excellent forecheckers for the Rangers tonight. Working with Deblois on that line as Petit bounces it off the pads of Healy. Mullen there for it. Down he goes. Kissio had it poked away. Gretzky reaches back of that goal, and he'll send Krushelnyski on his way. Can't step around Mullen, though. Nearly 4 minutes have elapsed in this third period, and the Rangers lead it 4-3. We've got a penalty upcoming against the Kings, and Ron Hogarth indicates hooking.
Well, Mike Krushelnyski goes to the penalty box. He got it for hooking, I believe. Certainly could have been interference, whatever. Gretzky was going down the right side, and all of a sudden 2 Rangers hit the ice. Big Krush, he was the pulling guard in the play, and he took a couple of them out of the play.
Big situation for the Kings. They've surrendered power play goals on the first 2 shorthanded situations they faced in this hockey game. They're not a bad penalty killing club. They came in 10th best in the league at just under 80% efficiency, and they're a dangerous team shorthanded with 15 shorthanded goals, but they haven't looked to get anything started in that regard as it's cleared down the ice.
Well, I don't think they'll take that approach with Allison and Casper, but anytime you see Gretzky and Nichols on the ice, you certainly have to be concerned.
Laidlaw trying to work it out of the zone. Leach backs up the play. Gets it to Lafreniere. He's checked by Laidlaw. Lafleur in that corner as well. Allison digs it away. Casper backhands it down the ice. And the Kings will change up, and they will send Duguay and Gretzky on the ice. They have Kennedy and Duchesne to work behind them. Aaron Turcotte runs out of room against Duchesne. Puck rolls in front. Lafleur chopped at it, and Kennedy got it away from him. And he'll send the Rangers back now with 52 seconds remaining on the penalty to Krushelnyski.
Rick, I'm wondering if Bernie Nichols is not injured. I mean, he's usually out in this situation, and he hasn't played much tonight at all.
Lafleur is held up by Gretzky. Leach. Ian Petit, the point man, behind Ogrodnik, Lafleur, and Kerry Wilson. John Ogrodnik plays it back to Leach. The pass is tipped, and it's cleared away by Dean Kennedy. 20 seconds remaining. 20-year-old Brian Leach ahead for Wilson. Casper latched onto him. Duchesne trying to spring Gretzky, and it's intercepted by Leach. Petit takes it. Plays it ahead to Ogrodnik. As Wilson busting toward the net, can't find him. Leach with Krushelnyski out of the box, catching up to him, and the Kings 3-on-2. They're back to full strength. Gretzky. His pass, reaching Krushelnyski, trying to stuff it home. He scores! Mike Krushelnyski just picked up the puck and beat Van Beesbrook to the post. It's tied at 4.
John Van Beesbrook, who at the end of the second period and the start of his third period, with some sensational saves, but he's letting in a lot of funny goals. This is if the Krushelnyski returns to the ice after serving the penalty. This will be another assist for Gretzky. Here's a little pass to Krushelnyski. He's going to hit the side of the net with this shot. Van Beesbrook, thinking he went behind the net, fell asleep on the play, and Krushelnyski stuffed it, and this ties the game up at 4. Here's a little pass here by Gretzky off the side of the net. Now watch Van Beesbrook. He's lost. And you see big Krush stuff it in.
An assist from number 99, Wayne Gretzky, and number 11.
You know, that last power play was horrible for the Rangers. In fact, Rick, it seemed to me that they were afraid of the Kings scoring, and that's the way they approached the power play instead of being aggressive. I'll tell you, it always comes back and takes a big bite out of you when you have a terrible power play.
The Kings kill the penalty, come up with a goal. Krushelnyski's 19th from Gretzky and Casper at 6:12. Here in the third, and we have a new hockey game once again at 4. Ron Duguay. The lead pass taken now by Hardy. Tomas Sandstrom checked by Duguay. Hardy lost it to John Tonelli. Casper steps ahead. Casper, the backhand, goes to Duguay, and Patrick got a stick in there. Sandstrom carries it ahead. The lead is deflected by Waters up into the seats. Behind that Los Angeles bench, Tony Granato. Out of the University of Wisconsin, there's Steve Casper, who became a King on January the 23rd. He and Miller coming to the Kings, and Bobby Carpenter heading home.
I think that's a trade in the long run will help both teams. Certainly the key to the success of that trade is how Bobby Carpenter reacts in Boston.
Second half of the season, Jerry, it seems like the Kings have really concentrated on the defensive end of things, trying to make a run in the playoffs, picking up a Casper here. Kelly Rudy, a big acquisition. I spoke with Rogie Vachon before the game, and I said, well, a lot of people say you're one defenseman away. I said, well, we're always looking. I don't think you're ever satisfied. Maybe we'll hear something out of the Kings camp before that trading deadline coming up on March 7th.
There's a lot of teams that are one defenseman away. I don't think the Kings got anything else to offer. They're drained. Robitaille out to Kennedy, and it hopped off his stick.
Sorley gets back on side, so play continues. Leach neatly maneuvers away from Allison, lost it though to Robitaille. His shot is blocked by Petit, and Turcotte cannot get it out. Crossman to Robitaille, and he cranks one over the net. And Beesbrook, with a shaky start to this period, covers the puck, not taking any chances. We've played almost 7.5 minutes here in this third. We're tied at 4.
Rick, we've mentioned Bernie Nichols a couple of times. You haven't mentioned him at all in the play-by-play, but he is in the bench area. He's got a position at the end of the bench. And I'm wondering if he's hurt or he's in the Vatorek doghouse. He's got to be hurt. You can't have 57 goals and be in a doghouse.
Now when you are behind, and the Kings have been in that situation to start the second and the third periods tonight. Here's Gretzky. His pass is intercepted by Mullen. Mullen shoots, stick save by Healy. Boy, if you had a dime for every interception Mullen and Kissio have had tonight, you'd be rich. Laidlaw. Around to Krushelnyski. Deblois stands in his path. Here comes Duchesne starting it in. And he had it chopped off his stick and out of play by Mullen. Ryan Mullen, who joined his brother Joey in the All-Star game in Edmonton.
That last interception by Kelly Kissio came off the stick of Wayne Gretzky. You know, Gretzky, that happened to Gretzky earlier this year in Detroit, and Vatorek sat him on the bench for 7 minutes. And he went into Gretzky and said, "I apologize, I got to show discipline, teach discipline." I heard that Gretzky said, "Well, teach it in New Haven. We're here to win a Stanley Cup." I don't know if that's true or not.
Not much on the record about the relationship between those two. A lot of things discussed off the record. A lot of rumors. It's tough to figure out the real situation as Krushelnyski trying to chop it in. Petit circles back. The Kings have had the pressure going in this third period. They've outshot the Rangers 7-3, but here's a pass to Kissio. He's joined by Mullen. Lets it go. Saved by Healy. Corrals that rebound, and he stops play.
You know, you keep asking yourself, and I know I did it when I played, just about every goaltender does it. But why does the goaltender have to drop here? Look how quickly this puck gets up. Wow. That went right off around the chest area. That was scary. In fact, wow. I mean, but why does the goaltender have to drop in that? I still don't have the answer. If you just go there and stand there, you're going to get it right around the knee area, not off the chest or the arm where it can really hurt.
You get the feeling that, I don't know, when you drop or you feel you're more in control, you don't have the confidence to stand up?
Rick, if I know it, I mean, I'd give you an answer, but I don't have an answer.
Well, you fooled me. I thought your question was going to be, why would anyone want to play goal?
There's an old saying, you don't have to be crazy to play goal, but if you are, it helps a lot. We just saw an example right there. See how fast the pucks are getting up nowadays? These players are shooting them much harder and quicker.
Seem to be shooting them off their front feet on board, too. Here's Tonelli with a pass. It's blocked by Wilson. 3-on-3. Granato steams in, looks for Wilson. He was impeded there by Tim Waters and couldn't take the pass. Crossman clears it. Healy leaves it for Waters, a two-time Olympian. Tim Waters, who signed as a free agent in the offseason from Winnipeg as the Kings are held up. Renato dumps it back in. Leba had it poked away. Here's Turcotte steaming in. Fakes, and it's poked off his stick by Healy. Lafleur trying to get a steal. Here's Turcotte shooting wide. Robitaille hemmed in by Ogrodnik and Turcotte. Over to Waters. Lead pass to Robitaille, steaming in. He shoots, and it's blocked by Bloomberg, who got back. Robitaille trying to make a play. Duchesne fires wide of Van Beesbrook. Kennedy at the point, holds it in. Allison feeds it to Robitaille, chopped over the stick of Leba. Duchesne, wrist shot, knocked down. It bounces to Leba. Allison's double teamed, and Lafleur, with 3 goals in tonight's game, has the puck. Lafleur steams ahead, left it at the blue line, and Gretzky turns the play around for Mike Allison. Allison trying to steam through there. Leach found the puck, gets it to Patrick. 3-on-3. Patrick gonna move on Duchesne. Does. Lafleur with a one-timer, and he missed. Leach the drive. Stick save by Healy. Lafleur nearly with his second career 4-goal game. As here's Gretzky. Gonna leave it for Kennedy. Robitaille still on. Gretzky well covered by Deblois. Kennedy starts it in, goes to Taylor, looking for Robitaille, couldn't handle the pass as Deblois reached in there. They center, Taylor shoots it, it's blocked by Leach. Back come the Rangers. Deblois cuts in, looks for Kissio, the pass was blocked by Kennedy. Petit coming up late. Kennedy gets to the puck. Hardy waiting to hold it in. Shoots, and it's deflected wide by Kissio. Mullen works in that corner along with Kissio. Deblois with a puck. Krushelnyski holds him up. Kissio forced to the boards by Kennedy. Krushelnyski got it away. He'll lob it out. 8:10 to go here in the third. Hardy starts it in. And his high shot is snared by Healy. Waits for a Ranger to come by. Hogarth says, "You got to play it." And now finally, we're going to have a penalty for delay of game. And Healy breaks his stick in disgust. And Wayne Gretzky is beefing to Hogarth. He doesn't want to hear it. But Torek looks on calmly.
Well, Glenn Healy's going to get a penalty for delay of the game. The big question is he going to get an unsportsmanlike penalty as he broke his stick in the backboards? I don't believe so. And the second question is who will serve that penalty, as it has to be a player off the ice. I kind of feel bad for Glenn Healy. You know, he made this catch, and maybe he should have moved it earlier. But once he didn't, and then Hogarth warned him, then there was a swarm of players around him. Certainly Mark Hardy from the Rangers was right there, and he had no chance to move it. I don't like this call at all, to be truthful. But we're going to see the lob by Hardy, and Healy reaches out and grabs it. Now here's where he should have played it, okay? But he didn't. So now you see the swarm of Rangers around here. Bergeron was upset because he broke his stick behind the net and should have got 2 minutes for unsportsmanlike. You know, the 2 wrongs make a right, or whatever.
Well, Healy and Hogarth hotly discussing that issue, and I agree with you, Jerry. Yeah, it's a funny situation for Hogarth. You know, he doesn't want to make that call, and at the same time, it's a situation where it's hard to determine. Is he checked? Is he trying to delay the game or not? And his indecision confused Healy and confused the whole situation.
I'm not arguing that Healy should have moved the puck. He should have right away. But by the time that Hogarth yelled at him, there's 3 Rangers upon him. He couldn't move it. What I think is a shame of this call, now you can, you know, is hopefully that this call does not decide the game. It's been a terrific hockey game. And why have a call like this decided? Okay, if you go around a defenseman, he takes a 2-hander and breaks his stick on you, certainly that should be called. But I find this is a tough call. I mean, you know, even though it's a penalty, he should have moved it early and all that. I don't think this call should alter the outcome of this game. At least I hope it doesn't, because we've seen just a great hockey game, a real hard-played game.
Healy gets a 10-minute misconduct as well as a delay of game penalty, and Patorek is listening to Brosiker's explanation.
Someone on the ice has got to serve that 10 minutes also, Rick.
Krushelnyski is in the box.
Are you going to lose him for 12 minutes? There's 8 minutes left. There's a possibility of 13 minutes left in the game. I don't think I'd pick Krushelnyski. But then who knows? I know Gretzky was on the ice.
They've still got the penalty box door swung open.
Oh, no, yeah, I see what you mean. They have, Krush will serve the 2 minutes.
Yeah, they've got to get somebody to serve that misconduct.
Yeah. And that player has to be on the ice, I believe. Well, here's something strange. Tonelli and Krushelinski, I doubt if they're both on the ice because they're both left wingers.
Correction on that, number 27, Sean Tonelli, is serving the delay of the game penalty.
No, Tonelli's serving the 2 minutes, Krushelinski the 10. Well, that doesn't make sense either.
Wow.
You can see Michel Bergeron yelling. Both players got to be off the ice.
Bergeron is questioning that. Hogarth says, let's play hockey.
I think this is a wrong call. Both Tonelli and Krushelinski were not on the ice. They're both left wingers. If they were, they should have had a penalty for too many men on the ice.
On the face-off, Lafleur gets it over to Patrick. Rangers hitting on their first 2 chances, missed on an earlier opportunity here in the third. The Kings came back and tied from there. And here's Laidlaw with a steal, trying to get fancy and clearing it, and the Rangers hold it in. Lafleur shoots it. It's off Healy's stick, deflects around to Patrick. Wilson. Leach. Across to Wilson, and he tried for the top corner and missed. The puck caroms to Allison. Out he comes. He's working with Casper. Here's Casper, one-on-one with Leach. Casper trying to dipsy-doodle through there, and Beesbrook leaves it for James Patrick. Around to Darren Turcotte. Turcotte gains the line, runs into Duguay, gets the puck back though. Wilson shoots, stick save by Healy. Turcotte trying to jam it home and hit the side of the goal, and Healy will cover it without any delay here. And the whistle blows. 57 seconds remaining on the delay of game penalty, being served by Tonelli. Lafreniere hitting it to Sandstrom. Laidlaw steps in there. They work it around to Gretzky. He shovels it to Duguay. Takes on Leach. Renato grabs it for the Rangers. 6:35 left in regulation time. What a terrific game we've had tonight. A 4-4 tie. Now the crowd's upset as Renato is dumped. Duguay heads for the corner. Gretzky around for it, and he'll split the point man to send the Rangers out to center ice. 17 seconds left on that penalty to the goaltender. Lafreniere leaving it for Renato. Down he goes. He's felled by Laidlaw, and we get a whistle.
It's got to be a hand pass, a face-off of the outside. Did you actually think there was going to be a call as Granato went down the ice, no matter what happened? I don't think so.
I was wondering if he was going to get up. The crowd was wondering the same thing as they stood in front of us.
Here's the race going down the right boards. Granato and Duguay as he accepts a two-hander. Look at that. He's going, oh, then he trips. Now there's games we've done, but that's going to be 2 penalties. There's Laidlaw. Let's see, he got chopped, he got tripped, and he got roughed on that shift.
Welcome to the NHL. He bounces back for more.
Ron Duguay.
Man has bounced around, and he hopes he's found a home late in his career here in L.A. Went from the Rangers to Detroit to Pittsburgh to the Rangers again, and then a year ago to Los Angeles.
You know, I think if I was as good looking as him, I'd still be playing also.
Crossman lays it out ahead for Allison. Time running down to that Healy penalty, and Tonelli steps out of the box, and the Kings have killed 2 crucial penalties in this third period and have an even straight goal in between to tie the game. Lafleur with a pass off Turcotte's skate. Robitaille makes the feed to Allison, and it worked away by Patrick. Back comes Ogrodnik. 3 Kings are back defensively. They leave it for Lafleur. Lafleur shakes a check. Lost the puck to Robitaille. Tonelli maneuvers ahead. Gives it to Crossman. Fakes his shot. Gretzky returns to the ice for L.A. Tonelli in there battling for the puck with Turcotte. Gretzky comes up with it. Gretzky on the backhand. Circles in front. Shoots. Saved by Van Beesbrook. And Ogrodnik takes over. They change up behind him. Ogrodnik trying to make his move. Kennedy has the puck and leaves it for Gretzky. Waters advanced to Tonelli. Rink wide pass looking for Gretzky. It's broken up by Debelois. Debelois drops it. Kissio shoots. He scores! Kelly Kissio has put the Rangers in front.
As many opportunities that the Rangers have had this period off the angle, and they wound up and took the big slap shot with no luck. Kelly Kissio, he just waits, bides his time, and quickly risks it past Glenn Healy. This is a good shot. But this line, Rick, is really checked well, as you've mentioned a few times. Kissio, Debois, and Mullen. Mullen goes towards the net. Here's the drop pass. Look at all the time he's got. The old-fashioned wrist shot. Tell you, young players can really learn from this period, seeing all the slap shot attempts, and finally a goal by a wrist shot.
Rangers goal is scored by number 11, Kelly
Kissio's 22nd at 15-17. We're down to 4:24 left in the third, and the Kings are down again by a goal.
22, time 15-17.
Lucien Debelois gets the assist on the goal as Taylor charges in there. It's worked free, and Brian Mullen has it. Mullen maneuvers in. Steve Duchesne controls. Kings victimized on turnover after turnover tonight. And Duchesne starts it in, shoots a save by Van Beesbrook. Out in front, it's Leba, and he couldn't handle the Gretzky pass. Gretzky centers again for Leba. Shoots, and it's just wide. Van Beesbrook flops on that loose puck, and he gets the whistle.
Marty McSorley was on his first shift in a long time. Kelly Kissio with the go-ahead goal. We're going to see another angle of this goal. We can see a drop pass by Debois. Mullen is already headed towards the net. Here's the wrist shot off the wrong leg, and he quickly went by Healy for the lead goal. And Rick, I was mentioning before we went to the break that Marty McSorley is seeing his first ice time, and he immediately got in front of that Ranger net, caused a lot of confusion.
On Duguay with a shot deflected by Petit, and it's over the glass and out of play. Kelly Kissio, the captain of the Rangers. And he has the lead goal of this hockey game. Lafleur has 3 tonight, and Leach has the other one. Rangers with 2 power play goals by Lafleur and Leach. Taylor has 2 to lead the LA attack. Gretzky 3 assists. Crossman has a goal, and Krushelnyski has 1. Taylor with a power play goal in this hockey game. One of his 2, and Beesbrook out to play the puck away. Sandstrom got it out of the zone. Tonelli is there. Going to hook up with Duguay, but Casper was on his way out of that zone, and the play is offside.
Rick, you got to feel a little bit for Glenn Healy. It's not he hasn't played bad. He couple goals, certainly suspect, couple in the short side and all that. But he's made some great saves, and he's shown a lot of courage being in there tonight. He made a tremendous save when it was 4-4 on young Darren Turcotte, I guess it is. Did I call him Dan Turcotte once? It's Darren Turcotte.
Yeah,
that's right.
I think you had it.
And he made a great poke check on him. And I've liked this guy for a long time. And he's got to learn a little bit more about playing the game of goal, but he's a game son of a gun.
He doesn't look that confident tonight. Really, I tell you, the way the Kings have been coughing it up in front of him, who could blame him?
Well, and also the fact that Kelly Rudy is on the scene, that doesn't help either.
Tonelli run into by Patrick. Kissio backhands it out. Mullen has a step on Kennedy, races it on Healy. Can't get a shot away. Play continues as Crossman in for that puck to the corner along with Kissio, and the whistle blows.
I kind of want to laugh, but you know that Hogarth isn't going to call anything. And as they go down the ice, Hogarth tripped over his linesman. He couldn't see anything. Ryan Leach, who has scored a goal tonight, he may or may not win the Norris Trophy this season. But I'll tell you what, he's going to win it many a time.
Out comes Wayne Gretzky. Kings looking to tie it up yet again. And a 1-0 lead in this hockey game, and when the Rangers overtook that lead with a power play goal late in the first by Lafleur, it's been catch-up time for the Kings ever since. Gretzky with a pass in front, and Tonelli couldn't take it. Patrick was on him. Crossman couldn't make a play. Crossman, though, saves the play. Still battling at that point. Van Beesbrook tries to beat Gretzky to it. Gretzky centers and hit Van Beesbrook, and he just discovered it just before the puck rolled in the net.
You know, Van Beesbrook, as we've said a couple times tonight, has played terrific goal for the Rangers over the years. But it seems to me that he's probably trying to do too much. He should tell himself, listen, just play goal, play the crease area. It seems to me every time tonight he gets out of the net, he gets himself in trouble, as we'll see right here. Gretzky will try and put this puck rebounded or deflected in off someone, and it almost works as it lays in the creased area. We'll see it from another angle. Van Beesbrook trapped behind the net. Gretzky knows this. He's trying to bank it in off Van Beesbrook as he returns to the net. I mean, he's been in trouble all night long fielding that puck. I think the coaching staff, you know, Eddie Giacomin is one of the coaches here, or the goaltender coach, however you want to put it. You know, he's got to just...
Duchesne with a shot, and it's deflected off Granato and up into the seats. They do have Kissio, the other right-hand shot on, but the Kings win it. The shot is through but wide. Gretzky picks it up, throws it in front. It's blocked. Mullen sends it out to Kissio. He's racing toward an empty net. Kelly Kissio looks over his shoulder. He scores, and the New York Rangers begin to celebrate a 6-4 victory. There's 35 seconds remaining.
Certainly a couple of key factors in tonight's game. The performance of Guy Lafleur, that's so obvious. But the performance of Debois, Kelly Kissio, and Brian Mullen. You know, the Kings win the draw right here. Here's the attempt by Nichols that's going to go wide. Gretzky will pick up the attempt right here and throw it in front. And this is where it's blocked. And this is the play by Mullen to Kissio. He punts it down, takes his time. He just wants to make sure he puts it in the net.
23 on the season.
And fitting enough for the Rangers, they combine on the empty net goal. Kissio's 23rd. He had the winner in this game. Don't forget, Mullen and Debois, the assists at 19:25. 20 seconds remaining. Puck is still loose, and Leach gets rid of it. Duguay comes up with it at center. 9 seconds to go. Duguay weaves his way through as Healy is back in net. Lafleur lobs it out, and that's going to do it. The New York Rangers have won 4 of their last 5, and Guy Lafleur leads the way tonight with a hat trick. And the Kings continue on a winless streak that has them 0-3-1 in their last 4 games.
I'll tell you, the Kings played a hard game tonight, Rick. They tried right up till the end. They're a pretty good hockey team. I'll tell you, management and everyone's trying their hardest to make this King team as good as it can possibly be. But their whole season will be pinpointed to that series with the Edmonton Oilers. That'll be that 7-game series, and I say 7-game series because, in my opinion, they're going to have to use all 7 games to determine the winner, because I think the Kings can compete with Edmonton, and in the long run it might be Edmonton.
Well, we'll see what happens. That's still a while away as the Kings and the Rangers finish up tonight, and New York wins it 6-4.